Yes, this is where we're going to start. We're going to go over schedules of reinforcement. It's going to be short, it's going to be sweet, and it's not going to be super detailed because throughout the 5th edition task list, there's other areas that this same exact topic comes in. So we'll save that for that section of the task list. This is just basic introduction. If you're studying to be an RBT, this is good for you as well because you need these things as an RBT and even for the RBT exam. So useful for both, whichever test or 3, whichever test you're sitting for is perfect. So I think okay, it's okay. Schedules of reinforcement. We have continuous reinforcement, also known as CRF. I don't know why that F is there, but it just is that way, and it's written that way all over the Cooper book. And this is basically that we are providing reinforcement for each occurrence of behavior. Next, we have intermittent schedule of reinforcement, also known as INT, when some but not all occurrences of behavior are reinforced. That would be known as INT. And then we have extinction is just a procedure where we are withholding reinforcement. Down here, I put note. Continuous reinforcement and extinction provide boundaries for all other schedules of reinforcement. So continue watching our videos and get extra detailed with us on specific terms. This is not all there is to know about schedules of reinforcement. So I repeated it there just in case anyone's trying to get super detailed on this topic. Take it in little by little because you can confuse yourself. And you want to avoid that, especially for a test. So now we're going to go into basic intermittent schedules of reinforcement. So let's break it down. Let's start right here. I like to teach these, and this is what helped me be able to put these together on a question. So let's break it down into 4 different terms. In other words, sorry. It's been a long night. So let's start by fixed. Think of fixed as a set number of responses or time required before reinforcement is offered. Okay, now we have variable, and think of variable as a set number of responses or time, but think average. When you see variable, remember average. Next, we have ratio, which is number of responses before reinforcement is offered, not if offered. Sorry. And next we have interval. So when a certain amount of time elapsed before reinforcement for a response is available. 4 different terms. Now we're going to try and play mix match over here on this side. Okay. Let's start with fixed ratio, also known as FR. Okay, so this is the delivery of reinforcement based on a fixed number of responses, because we have fixed and we have ratio. So fixed number of responses, because this is number of responses before reinforcement is offered. So because we have fixed and ratio together, this would be a good example, like a math homework that has 10 problems on there, and it always has 10 problems. Or when we were, at least when I was, let me not say we, when I was in elementary school, we had to write down our vocabulary words, each word 10 times each. It was always that fixed ratio. Okay. This type of schedule produces a high, steady rate of responding with a post-reinforcement pause. So think staircase on a graph. If they ask you a question, they put different types of graphs, and they ask you which graph displays fixed ratio, just remember a figure of a staircase. You're going to get that answer correct. Next, we have fixed interval. This is reinforcement delivered for the first response following a passage of a set duration of time. So first, response occurs, reinforcement, then a passage of a set duration of time has to happen. This type of schedule produces slow to moderate rate of responding. So again, think scallop on a graph. So if you're ever asked, same type of question, which graph is displaying a fixed interval? Look for the one that is just like scallop. Looks like what's on the fish's skin. You'll get that answer correct. So right there, you're already ahead by 2. Next, we have variable ratio. So this is a variable or average number of responses required for reinforcement. This produces steady, high rate of responding and no post-reinforcement pause. This is the most resistant to extinction. So think slot machines, okay? Or, like if you guys have ever gone to a casino, it's more likely that you're going to keep pressing the button and spending $1 if you've already won maybe $10. You're going to want to keep gaining more dollars. Even if you bring it down to 0, there's some people that will stay there and think this illusion that they might actually beat the casino, but everything about a casino is set up for you not to win. That's why there's no blocks there, but that's a whole other topic. Slot machines, variable ratio, also known as VR. Next, we have variable interval. Think of VI. This is reinforcement for the first correct response following the elapse of a variable duration of time, occurring in a random or unpredictable order. This produces consistent, stable rates of responding. So this is a lot, and this is something that I even confuse. So I want you guys to get really detailed when you're looking at these topics. And again, the best way that I was able to set these apart in a scenario is thinking of these topics over here on the left completely separated. And as I'm reading the scenario, I'm like, okay, set number of responses, fixed, cool. They're doing responses, ratio, set number of time, fixed interval, and like that, so on and so forth. It's what's helped me. I hope it helps you. And then down here, just wrote another little note. Fixed schedules are more easily extinguished. Why? Because if you do it continuously on a fixed time or fixed ratio, and all of a sudden you stop, it's easier to, implement extinction on those type of procedures, versus variable schedules are more resistant to extinction because the person you're implementing this schedule on is already used to not knowing when they're going to receive reinforcement. So that is why that happens in that way. And that is all for today. Follow us on our Instagram, Puzzle Me Academy, and Online with Love ABA. I want to be able to, okay, here we are.